Ajay Bodke from Prabhudas Leeladhar now joins us. Ajay, first on the markets yesterday, there was a hint of recovery. There was a sense that the worst is behind. But today down 120 points. What does it tell you? What are your clients telling you? What is the main reason why the markets are going down?
I think the excessive panic that one is seeing in the market is being attributed to a slight jump in the CPI numbers that came in after the close of the market. But if I were to assess sort of, the medium-term perspective, and that's what we advise our clients, we still feel that I think once there's a semblance of sanity returns in the market, maybe in a day or so, it is an opportunity for medium-term investors to get into the sectors and the stocks which offer an opportunity, over the next 2 to 3 years. There are very strong macroeconomic tailwinds that make India as one of the most favored destinations from the FII perspective. And the seminal decision taken by the Parliament yesterday is, in our opinion, the beginning of the economic renaissance promised by the government. I think we will be hopefully seeing very soon, less than a week or so from now, the clearance, hopefully, of the coal bill and the MMRDA bill also. So I think the 3 crucial pieces of economic legislation which were hobbled in case of insurance for more than a decade, the government has been able to successfully reach out to the principal opposition party, and in case of coal and mines, to some of the players in the eastern and the southern India, taken them on board, addressed their concerns and told them that a majority of the revenues accruing from the auction of natural resources will basically be coming to their coffers. So the financial matrix, there will be a complete transformation of financial matrix for state governments. So I think the market is, in my opinion, overlooking this fundamental shift in the way business will now be transacted between the opposition and the ruling party. And it spells very good news. I think the legislative logjams hopefully should get ebbed. And this I think is a very strong positive tailwind which the market seems to be ignoring. That doesn't mean that in case of land bill the opposition will wither away, but at least there is a glimmer of hope from these 3 bills, if they are cleared, that some sort of a via media or golden midpoint can be achieved by the government and the opposition parties to ensure that the economy chugs along at a good clip, especially when your CAD is under control, fiscal deficit also has it under control. Government is committed to reviving infrastructure cycle by pumping in 70,000 crores this year in roads and railways, plus 20,000 crores of seeding it has done in infrastructure fund, which can be levered 4 to 5 times. LIC has committed to put in 1.5 lakh crores over the next 5 years in railways. Many insurance companies, we heard some of the stalwarts yesterday, be it Mr. Mittal or Analji or the Max India chairman, saying that their partners are looking to up the stake to 49%, and even HDFC Life has commented that they would like an IPO to happen soon. So I think FDI in insurance, in our opinion, will be the beginning of floodgates being opened for other sectors like defense and railways. And what market seems to have forgotten is in case of pension funds. When the bill was passed, it was worded in such a manner that whatever is the cap for insurance will automatically apply for pension funds. So this market has ignored it completely, that the pension funds also, the cap has gone up from 26 to 49%, and they hopefully should attract long-term money from overseas. So I think once the semblance of sanity returns to the market, on the interest rates again, people unnecessarily are quibbling about whether the RBI will be cutting rates over the next 12 months or not. In our opinion, there is still a possibility of 50 to 75 basis points of rate cuts. If the inflation remains at 5.5%, and the RBI governor is on record saying that real rate should be between 1.5 to 2%. So I am assuming 1.5%. There is still a 50 basis point window that the RBI has. If inflation remains at 5.5%, if it goes down, there is a further window that he has. So I think one should continue spotting good sectors and stocks, and these are the times when you are able to get good quantities with less of impact.
Right. As we're talking about the impact, there are some interesting flashes at the bottom of the screen from the World Cup. The action in the market seems to be limited, but the action over there continues. And we're getting news that Bangladesh has lost to New Zealand, which means that India will take on Bangladesh in the quarterfinals. So that is one development that you would not want to miss. Since morning, markets are not showing action on the upside. Generally, people are bulls in the market. So if you're a bear, you're a happy, you have some action in the market. But if you are a bull and caught on the wrong side, probably if you follow cricket, this is something that you would not want to miss. 19th of March, that will be the first quarterfinals, and India will take on Bangladesh. That is the news coming in from World Cup. Ajay, you were talking about the markets and the positives that we've seen, which the market seems to be ignoring. But at 9,000 odd levels or 9,100 odd levels, don't you think that a lot of it was factored in? Say, a rate cut was factored in, passing of minimum bills, or the government getting through a lot of bills, a lot of this FDI was also factored in. A good current account deficit, a lower crude oil prices, most of it seemed to be have factored in. So when we are actually getting this, why are we seeing this sort of nervousness with investors?
So as I said, I think at 9,100, if that nervousness was there, that whether the government will be able to successfully steer these bills. Today at around 8,650 levels, we already have seen a sharp fall from those higher levels. And on ground, we actually have seen the insurance bill going through. And mind you, after a decade of wrangling between the two principal parties, and hopefully I think the standing committees on coal and mines should adhere to the 7-day deadline that they have given to the government, and those bills also should be able to go through with, as I said, many regional parties on board. In interest rates, I already dwelt upon it, that there is still a scope of 50 basis point rate cut at a minimum from the RBI over the next 12-month period. Possibly in April meeting, there might not be a cut. But in the next following meeting, which will be in June, I think one can expect inflation trends remain at the current levels, a further 25 basis point cut from the RBI. And hopefully, I think, with the large orders for roads and railways starting to be put out by the government in the first quarter, one can expect that, from second quarter onwards, one can see large orders coming to the construction companies, capital goods companies, engineering companies, and a revival in the investment cycle, certainly is expected from June quarter onwards. So I think there is excessive pessimism that the market is building in currently. And at 8,650 levels, we are trading at around 16.8 times 1-year forward earnings. We are expecting 513 rupees of earnings for Nifty in FY16, a growth of 18.5% in EPS on a YOY basis. And FY17, we are penciling in a EPS of 611 for Nifty, a further growth of around 18 to 19%. So I do accept that third quarter earnings have been a tad disappointing, but I think with the revival on the anvil, the Nifty earnings, many companies from construction sector, capital goods, metals, and oil and gas are not contributing to the earnings, bottom of cycle earnings. So the PE might look optically very large at 16.8 times, which is around 10% premium to last 10 years average. But if the economy revival happens and these companies start contributing to the Nifty earnings, that E becoming large and the PE will not look as daunting. So I think one should not get carried away with the noise and the fear, but use the opportunity to get into fundamentally good companies with good free cash flow positive companies, good ROEs, improving earnings profile.
Right. Ajay, just stay on with us. We'll take a quick break, come back and discuss some stocks or some ideas that are looking interesting after this correction. Look at the markets, 125 points down for the Nifty. Not much has changed in the last 10 odd minutes since the time 230 factor has started. So not much change, 120 points down, 400 points for Sensex. But volatility or volatile moves in the market tend to continue. Volumes, as I've been saying, are slightly higher than averages. Cash volumes particularly are high. So that gives you a sense that, there is some activity as far as cash selling is concerned. And dealers have been telling us that F&O shorting activity in the market is also particularly quite high. Ajay Bodke is still with us. Ajay, a couple of names that I would like to ask your view about. So firstly, the telecom names, whether it's a Bharti or a Idea, phenomenal move this week. Would you like these names after the telecom auction or what you have seen in the auction so far?
Okay, unfortunately, we do not cover telecom stocks, so it will be inappropriate for me to comment on either Bharti or Idea.
Right. Do you track DLF?
No, we don't.
Okay, so all the names that are buzzing in today is something which you particularly don't track. Any which ways, we can talk about other names. So, you have told about private banks earlier to us. Axis Bank has been one of your favorites. IndusInd, ING, Vaishya, all of them have seen some decent correction in the last few days. Would you use it as a buying opportunity? You still like names like Axis, IndusInd, as well as ING?
I think our preference remains with Axis Bank, no doubt. In addition to that, I think ICICI Bank and SBI, which in our opinion are one of the prime beneficiaries of the passage of the bill yesterday, should be looked at by investors. Also, I think a revival in the economic in the investment cycle should benefit both ICICI Bank and SBI. So we are looking at ICICI 390 rupees as the target price for ICICI Bank in a 1 year period. A revenue growth of around 18% this year in FY16 and a bottom line growth of around 19% for ICICI Bank. And SBI, we are looking at a target price of around 350. There, I think we are penciling in 14.7% growth in revenues for FY16 and earnings growth of 24% for the current year. Axis also continues to remain our preferred pick in the banking space.
Right. So that was the banking space. Apart from that, a lot of other names that have seen correction is the metals pack, and they continue to see a lot of correction. Any names that you like over there, especially what we've seen after the coal auction, anything like JSPL, any other names that you would be bullish on?
Yeah, I think metals is one space we'll advocate investors to stay away from in the short to medium term. Our analyst believes that till such time there is a semblance of stability that emerges in China in particular and also in the other large consumers around the world, one should sort of stay away from these names. And in JSPL's case in particular, one has seen a very sharp up move from 128, that was the bottom couple of months back, because of the three blocks that they won at fairly attractive prices. But even here, our analyst believes that one should tread with caution. So I think metals in general is a space that we would advocate investors to steer away for the time being.
Right. Another sector which has done well has been the pharma pack, especially the large cap ones. We've even seen some activity in the mid cap space. Anything you like over there? Would you use this opportunity to trim your positions, or you continue to maintain your positive outlook on the pharma space?
No, as long as there is a panic in the market, that one has seen, for instance, today one has seen a kind of panic. I think the names in pharmaceuticals, FMCG, and also in IT are the ones where people will find some comfort, and hence these are sectors where one would like to hide. In our opinion, pharmaceuticals, Aurobindo is a stock that our analyst is positive on. In the medium term, he is looking at a price target of around 1308 or 1 year perspective, and penciling in growth of around 15.2% in sales this year, and a bottom line growth of around 16.2% in case of Aurobindo. Glenmark is another company that he is positive on. However, here in case of Glenmark, he is advising investors to buy only on dips and sort of on corrections, but keep it on the radar.
Right. So those were the mid-cap pharma picks that you would like. Anything in the large-cap names like Lupin, names like Sun Pharma, you continue to be positive on those names as well?
Yeah, we are positive. But as I said, our preference lies in the former two names that we just mentioned.
Right. Just a last word before we conclude. You mentioned about the consumer pack. Again, we've seen a sharp run-up in the consumer names. But a name like ITC has not done that well. Of course, for reasons about taxes and excise that were increased. Would you use this opportunity to add names like ITC? Because earlier we've seen that after 4-5 months, people just tend to forget about these price hikes.
Yeah, I think, at some point in time, people do look at relative valuations. If a stock has underperformed quite significantly to its peers, and in ITC's case, I think, for legitimate reasons, I think one had seen a sharp drop after the budget. The company has tried to push in a very hefty price hikes. But that in turn also would have an impact. Although it will try to protect the margins, but the impact that it would have on the volume growth is what the market is concerned about. And hence, our preference remains with a stock like Britannia, which we have been advocating now for 1.5 years. Colgate is in the stock that we used to like, but our analyst currently believes that almost all the positives have been priced in, and hence one needs to tread with caution in case of Colgate.
Right, Ajay, you've been bullish on Britannia for quite long, and you've been recommending it on our channel as well, and continues to recommend Britannia at Prabhudas Lilladher. Thank you so much, Ajay, for joining us here this afternoon. Hope you have a great day ahead. Let's take a break on the